Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are watching us from. I am Comfort Eyitayo, your regular host on the Connect with Comfort show. Happy Sunday to you all. On this program, we aim to add value to people and business enterprise for personal growth as well. Each show is organized to feature guests who are subject matter experts that will help us throw insight on the topic of the day. You are highly welcome. I'm glad you are able to join us today. Today's discussion is focused on the significant and ever evolving topic of business collaboration, alliances, and partnerships. In today's fast-paced and interconnected global economy, organizations and businesses across the spectrum, from small startup to multinational corporation, have come to realize that forging strategic collaborations and partnerships is not only beneficial but often necessary for sustained growth and success. Collaboration enables businesses to combine their unique strengths, expertise, and resources to tackle complex challenges, as well as seize new opportunities and drive innovation. It also helps us to build a culture of shared goals, mutual support, and collective learning, ultimately leading to greater efficiency, competitiveness, and resilience in an increasingly competitive marketplace. With technology reshaping our world, customers' expectations are constantly changing. No single organization or business can possess all the necessary skills and capacities to thrive independently. By forming alliances and partnerships, businesses can tap into complementary strengths, leverage specialized expertise, what we call the competitive advantage, access new markets, and create synergies that propel them forward. Therefore, on today's discussion, we will explore various aspects of business collaborations, alliances, and partnerships. We will delve into the key factors that contribute to successful collaborations. We will also gain insights from our guest, who is already in the house, about how to navigate the intricacies of forging strategic partnership. I encourage each and every one of you to take the maximum benefit of the knowledge to be shared today, as once again I warmly welcome you to this show. I am confident that today's event will be an enriching and rewarding experience for everyone. So before we go into introducing our guests, let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Please remain connected.
also in survival. I remember when my ninth grade teacher asked me, Lisa, what do you want to be when you grow up? And see, I have to fight the Harlem Crip 30s every day to get home from school, so I looked at her and said, alive. I took an English class, I got a fail in English. And my English teacher said in front of the entire class, Lisa, you have to be the weakest writer I've ever met in my entire life. Don't worry, my story ends good. Don't feel sorry for me. I got 7 under my belt. And then the same year, my speech teacher said, after giving me a D-, I knew I had an A in speech. Like, come on. He obviously didn't agree with me. He gave me a D- and said, quote unquote, Miss Nichols, I recommend you never speak in public, that you get a desk job. So here's the beauty of that story. Other people's perception of you ain't none of your business. Everything you've ever been through, sat through, rose through, cried through, prayed through, everything is a setup for your next best season. And the way you forgive the perceivingly unforgivable, the way you love the perceivingly unlovable, the way you accept what seems to be unacceptable, the way you embrace after you've been betrayed, the way you do that is the way you will lead us. Your light belongs to everyone who'll be illuminated because you were bold enough and obedient enough to let your light shine. Yes, yes?
Thank you very much. I hope we've learned one word or two from that video. You are welcome back. On today's show, we have a distinguished guest in the house, in the person of Oluseye Igbafe. Sheye, you are highly welcome to connect. Okay, we are having echo. Do you have 2 devices connected, Sheye? Because we are having echo. So one has to be put off.
No, I do not have.
In the meantime, while you do that, we welcome you to connect with Comfort Show.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. Good evening, ma'am.
Okay. I wonder why we have that echo, but it's better now anyway. Sheye is a business consultant and highly experienced one for that matter. And we are glad to have you sharing your busy schedule with us. Thank you for honoring our invitation. We do not take it lightly. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Good. So on that note, let's go straight to business of the day. I'll start my first question with you telling us about the specific goals that your business or businesses that you have known hope to achieve through business collaborations, alliances, and partnership.
Thank you very much. For any business to consider going, either having a collaboration, forming an alliance, or entering into a partnership, the key goal is always about expansion, the ability to do more, to exert more influence, to widen their scope of their business. So it's always about a mutual beneficial relationship. That is why you collaborate with others, so that maybe a particular project that you cannot handle on your own, by collaborating with others, you can do it. By forming an alliance with others, you can reach a wider impact. And of course, you can have access to products and processes. So it's all about how to move your business forward, and it's a mutually beneficial relationship. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I guess I've just told us that basically alliances, collaborations, partnership is aimed at growing our business. Expansion is growth. So it's to make us better, to achieve more. The synergy of combining efforts definitely propels us higher. Thank you very much for that. How do you identify potential partners or collaborators that align with your business strategic objectives?
Thank you. That's a very interesting question. There are so many dimensions to collaboration. There can be short-term collaborations, there can be long-term collaborations. So that would determine. You may collaborate with another organization that is exactly the same size as you for a very short term to achieve a particular goal. However, for growth focused or expansion growth, there are certain things that you will look at. What is the history of the organization? How are they growing as well? What is their influence in that sphere of business or in that industry that you also want to grow? What are the mutually beneficial results that will align to you? So there are so many of those factors that you will consider in making a decision. It's not just every business that's in the same industry with you that you can collaborate with. No. And it is not every business that you can form alliances with. No. You must ensure that even both of you have the same vision, you have the same kind of goal. You also have the same values, because there are organizations that believe that the end justifies the means. So your alliances, if not well done, can actually destroy the business that you have built. So you must do your background check to ensure that so many things are in place in terms of value and benefit before you form that alliance or that partnership. Thank you.
Thank you very much. One critical thing that cut across as for me that strikes me is what we should watch out for, those with the same values. Is very important. If you have been building a culture of value, of excellence, you do not want to collaborate with wrong people that, like she said, the end justify the means. They are ready to do anything, maybe for money, at the end of the day, maybe at the expense of their integrity and their good standing in the community, which goes a long way. That is very key. So please let us note that, yes, it's good to collaborate, it's good to have partners in whatever business, maybe short or long, but we must make sure that, as they say, birds of the same feather fly together. So be sure that people you want to collaborate with are of the same value in terms of their core values, what they believe in, what they stand for, the integrity in particular is the same. Thank you very much for that. Now, what criteria do you use to evaluate the sustainability of a potential business partner or collaborator?
Thank you, ma'am. Like I said, the indices that you would use would determine on the kind of collaboration or partnership or alliance. But let me talk about partnership. So let's say you are an organization and you are manufacturing in Nigeria, and there's this company that is somewhere in the world, maybe in the US or in Asia, and they can help you with your raw materials, and you decide to partner with them, or they have a product you want to bring into the country. So what are the criteria that you would use? Number one is the willingness of the parties to have basic agreements, because a lot of organizations that are shady or funny will not want you to get a legal backing. So the willingness, the openness, the transparency of the process, the presence of proper documentation, the legal framework, those things are very, very important, because when things go sour, that background, that basis gives you an ability to resolve issues. So that is one of the first things that you will start. Then number two, you also have to look at what are they known for? What is their track record? What is their track record in terms of funds management, in terms of sustainability, even in terms of previous partnerships? There are companies that they have formed partnership with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and probably are going to be the next victim if you are not doing your due diligence. So what is their track record in terms of keeping to their word, in terms of their integrity? What is their track record? You begin to check that. Then you also begin to find out what are they offering in terms of the value. The value that they are giving to you, because there are times that some partnerships looks very rosy until you begin to implement it and you discover that maybe you are the one carrying all the costs. So what is the exchange value? What is the value that you have to put in, and what is the value that you have to get? Also, you can look at what is your security. At times these companies are looking for partnership, and when they partner with a company, after you have spent so much money, they create a loophole for them to partner with other companies who then become your competitors. So what is your level of security in the partnership? Then you also look at your investment, the timeline. How long before you get back the cost? Because partnership sometimes comes with cost. So there are several indices, but I hope I've been able to mention a few that can actually help you to make a decision to say, okay, I want to partner with this company.
You have done excellently well on this, because
Thank you.
I believe some strong points are resonating here, apart from looking into what they are offering, which is a normal thing. One thing that you said, which is important, and I want our viewers to take note, the what I will call exit clause, because she said security. That exit clause is very important in any legal agreement. Like she said, they can form partnership with you, maybe just to use you as inroad into an area. Once they get in, they now see other rosy or more beneficial partners to them, which now become competitors to you. So there must be an exit clause. When you smell a rat, there must be a way of getting out of that trap, so to say. So it's important. Let's not just rush and say, oh, this is looking fantastic. Maybe a company in China, I'm going to collaborate with expatriates. Please look at the tiny lines and all the things that you need to check. So it's good to have legal backing,
Yeah.
that is agreement that will work for you. And like she said, their track record, people will not just come up out of the blue and be good all of a sudden. If they have been bad, or they've attracted bad appraisers before, like their track record have not been very good from other association with other people, then you should really think twice before collaborating. So the track record, their antecedents, and importantly, building an exit clause that gets you out of the logjam quickly. Thank you very much. So can you provide examples of successful collaborations, alliances, or partnership your business or business that is known to you have had in the past?
Oh yes, okay. So I spent quite a number of years in the oil and gas industry, particularly the oil servicing, and there is a lot of collaborations I can give examples of, where we have technical partnership with companies abroad, or for an organization to actually be the that is a foreign product in Nigeria. So we have quite a number of that. But like we said, the indices that made that successful are all the things that I've listed before. So some of those ones that work, I don't want to mention specific names of those industries, but there are quite a lot of them, where it is both in terms of service, where it is both in terms of technical partnership, where it is both in terms of products for them to partner with in Nigeria. And those ones have worked very successfully. Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that. Then how do you handle conflicts or disagreements that may arise within a collaborative or partnership arrangement?
Thank you very much. Like you said earlier, that is very, very key. And having foresight is knowing that these things can come up. There might be need to review the contracts. There might be things that were not even foreseen when the contract was being signed that may come up. There may be, like force majeure, for example, like the COVID. What happens in such cases? And so that is why a legal agreement is very important. And in the legal agreement, like you mentioned, the exit clause and the the conflict resolution clause is there. So if we say, okay, if we have an issue, we go to arbitration in Nigeria, or we go to arbitration, or we get somebody to arbitrate for us, at what point do we go legal? At what point do we take this course of action? So all those things are actually best defined at the beginning of the partnership, before you start the partnership, to say, okay, even sometimes, for example, in some alliances, if anything happens between year 1 and year 3, how do we split? How do we split the assets? How do we split up things? Because there are times that even with all the conflict resolution, the conflict cannot be resolved. So the exit process is very important for it to be well defined. The resolution process is well for it to be well defined. How do we resolve issues? And when all those things are defined, then that means that, because it protects both parties as well. So if anything goes wrong, nobody can just make a decision on their own. They are contractually, bound by the agreement of how issues should be resolved, and that saves everybody from any unexpected can I call it begay or something like that? Yes.
You are right. Before I go on, permit me to recognize some of our regular followers that are joining us today. Sukomi from Lagos, Taiwo Ojo from Abuja, Modupe Gideon from Ikeja, Temija Isimi from Ikeja. Thank you all for joining us. I hope you are gaining one or two points in our discussion today. Okay, what steps do you take to ensure effective communication and coordination between different collaborating entities? Did you hear that? Sheye? Sheye, did you hear the question?
So again, in setting up this partnership and alliances, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
I'm still here.
Okay. I said, did you get the last question?
So I was saying that all these things also come up in the setup process. In the process of setting up, the process of course, there should be normal communication, but there are some certain communication that has to be defined to say, okay, how do we channel our communication? What is our acceptable format of communication? Is it by email? And okay. So I was saying that it's also in the process of defining the agreement.
Bear with us. The network is bringing up some challenges. Well, she was enlightening us about when we should start defining the type and mode of communication. Obviously, at the very beginning, most of these things should be sorted out. And okay, are you back? Sheye?
Yes, I'm back. Yes, I'm back. Sorry for the technical aid.
No problem.
Okay. So I got your last question asking about communication, that how should communication be done between partnerships. And one of the things I would like to emphasize is, as much as we cannot avoid normal telephone calls and communication, there should be a lot of documentation and tracking, especially in the early stages, just to ensure that the communication, do mails, okay, send emails. And even if you have a phone conversation, just send an email to say, okay, sequel to our conversation, please find attached the summary of, especially on major issues and on major agreements. This is because that creates a record for you. And that, again, becomes a legal document that protects both sides. But communication should be free, depending on the size of your organization, and depending on the size of the organization that you're partnering with. You can identify the people that will be in charge of the communication. So the person that is representing you and their own representative, the formal means of communication. All this will ensure that there is no breakdown of communication or there is no communication. So yes, you can communicate through calls and texts and things like that. But when it comes to major issues, clarifications, requests, and formalities that has to do with the partnership, please ensure that they are documented for your safety and the safety of your organization. Thank you.
Thank you very much. One thing that came across about, like you said, even if it's a phone call, follow it up with a mail to say further to our conversation. What that does, sometimes apart from the security of or documentation for legal eventualities, is that it eliminates wrong understanding. Sometimes you think you have communicated. Speaking does not mean communication. You may have spoken with somebody, you may not have communicated well, or the person may not have understood what you said in the context in which you say it. But by putting it in black and white, as they say, in writing, definitely all that misconception will be cleared. And if there's need for follow-up clarification, it will be done at that initial stage to avoid problem later. So it's very key. It's very key to have major issues documented. No matter how fast you want things to move, always take that due diligence. Thank you very much. So the next question is, how do you measure the success or impact of a business collaboration, alliance, or partnership? How do you measure if you've had the success of it?
Okay, so for every business, for every collaboration, whether it's short-term or long-term, or for every alliance or partnership, you as a business owner must have your goals. You must say, okay, I want to collaborate with this person or with this other business, and this is what I want to get by the end of the quarter. This is what I want to get by the end of the year. This is what's going to be the impact on my learning, my own learning curve as a business owner. This is going to be the impact on my revenue. This is going to be impact on my clients. So you must be detailed as much as possible in your goals of what you want to achieve. Once you have that defined, then it becomes easy to manage. It becomes easy to monitor, to say, okay, we have a first quarter goal, we have a mid-year goal, we have a 1 year goal. How far have we gone? Is this alliance or is this partnership, is it successful? Is it bringing in what I thought it would bring in? So all those becomes so if you don't set up goals for yourself, if you don't set up targets, then you cannot measure it. So you measure yourself in line with your goals and your targets for the partnership, what you wanted to achieve and how far you have gone in achieving it.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this great insight. We'll go on a short break and we'll be right back. Please remain connected.
Okay.
Thank you.
These dry bones will rise again, 'cause the stone has been rolled away. At the touch of living water, yeah, yeah. This broken branch will live again. Fallen walls will be restored, says the Lord. So hear his voice as he calls, come forth, arise, come alive. It's not over till Jehovah says.
welcome back. It is not over until it is over. But what that tells us, we should not be thinking of it being over. We should persevere and then make sure that we achieve success of any business endeavor that we have our mind on. Set target for ourselves. Like our guest said before we went on break, if you have a goal, set targets, then you'll be able to know if you are on the right track. You'll be measuring it as you go along. The target is broken down in phases. 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, what have you achieved? Does it compare with the goals you set for yourself? Those are the ways to measure success. And keep at it. Once you keep at it and you keep working on it, definitely your business will grow. Yeah. Thank you very much. You are welcome back once again. So we go to the next question.
Thank you.
What are the key factors? We are having that echo again. What are the key factors that you can consider when negotiating terms and agreement for a collaboration or partnership?
Thank you, ma'am. So I think this goes back to the last thing that we're talking about, and that is what you want to achieve with the partnership. Sometimes the collaborations, like we said, are just short-term collaborations for you to execute a project. Sometimes the alliances are for you to grow your business. Sometimes for you to develop your own learning, for you to build your own knowledge and skills base. All those things that you want to achieve then becomes part of the criteria in selecting an organization to collaborate with your partner with. So let me give an example. So let's even say you are like you're into catering business, something as simple as catering business, and you have a job, you have a big job, maybe wedding or something like that, or like the inauguration, you have been asked to go for the inauguration and you don't have capacity. So in determining who you are going to collaborate with, you must ensure the person has that capacity that complements you. So skills that complement you, the abilities that you don't have, you are getting something extra for them. So if you can't go and collaborate with another organization that is not as big as you are or that cannot solve your problem. So that then forms the criteria of who you collaborate with. What do you want to get out of the partnership? Once you identify that, the next thing is to identify that this business I want to collaborate with, do they have it? And in choosing to collaborate with someone or choosing to form an alliance or a partnership, you should also think of as many organizations as possible. So then you have a basis to compare. So it's not just the person that jumps at you that you should compare. You should actually look and search wide, because it's like recruitment. You're looking for a partner. So you could look at different organizations and say, okay, what do they all bring to the table? What can they afford me? And beyond what you are looking at an organization that complements you, you can then begin to ask yourself, what other benefits can I get in this collaboration? So then you begin to think, what can they bring to the plate? Can they also bring knowledge? Can they also bring skill? Can they also bring exposure? So in thinking of that then expands your criteria of the things that you need to look for in that organization. I hope I've been able to do justice to that question.
Definitely. We had the additional timeline from our online viewer, Pastor Sheyi from London. He said it's all
Okay.
about perceived value. So maybe
Yes.
he's talking about the expected value that you are expecting at the end
Yes.
of the day. So money follows value, he said. So you have to be sure that whatever you are putting in has good return.
Exactly.
So thank you very much for that input, Pastor Sheyi, all the way from London.
Yes.
Thank you.
That they will bring value to you, and as they
Yes.
add value to your organization becomes enabled to make more money. That is very, very important.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. So, how do you manage intellectual property rights and confidentiality issues when engaging in collaborations or partnership?
Thank you very much. This is a very, very tricky one. And again, most of us we don't really look deep into this, especially when you are into tech, when you're into fintech, and when you're into some of these emerging economies. Intellectual property is very, very important. And so a lot of organizations, some of the organizations I've consulted with always have confidentiality clauses. You have to sign a confidentiality agreement, and then they have to there has to be an agreement on intellectual property. Now, what do I mean by that? If two organizations are collaborating and we develop a product, let's say we develop the product from scratch in the process of the collaboration, who owns the product? So this is something that we have to think ahead of time and actually agree on before the product is developed. Is it based on maybe the money sharing ratio or the partnership ratio? Do we own it 50-50? Does it belong to the originating company? Can we buy it off each other? Those are modalities that organizations who are into development, either development of software, development of products, must consider very strongly and agree on before the organization, before they start the partnership and the alliance. For some organizations, everything, even for their staff, because sometimes a particular staff can come into the organization and develop a product and then try to claim ownership of that product, even though it was developed within the organization. So it doesn't happen in alliances or partnerships. It also happens within organizations. So it's important for a business owner, where products may be developed, where there might be issue of property rights, intellectual rights, knowledge rights, to have that clearly defined as to the ownership, and again, if there's to be a break in the relationship, how that intellectual property will be managed. But in terms of confidentiality, it is very important that both sides have confidentiality agreements in place. That is very, very important, so that protects their knowledge and their information from being stolen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. What strategies do you have in place to foster innovation and knowledge sharing within collaborative relationships?
This is another very interesting angle. I really love the angles that we are looking at tonight, and this is peculiar again for some industries, because when there is partnership, and as a person, as a business owner going into the partnership, like we have repeated, you have to define what you want out of it. We have had cases. I worked in, like I said, in the oil and gas sector, where partnering organizations will come to Nigeria with an expatriate for 5 years or 10 years, and they will refuse to train anybody on that skill, therefore ensuring that for as long as possible, that partnership is in place. And even when they break the partnership, you do not have that skill. So a lot of organizations and even some governmental agencies have put in a knowledge transfer process in place. And so it is important for everybody who is forming an alliance or a partnership with a technical partner, a joint venture partner, to tackle the issue of knowledge transfer and to define it. Interestingly, it has always been in a lot of the contracts to say there will be knowledge transfer, but the problem was that it is not defined. So how will the knowledge transfer take place? You have to define it. You have to say, we will attach XYZ and to Mr. ABC, and he will train him for so number of months. We will have an online training session once a month. You have to define it to the particulars, otherwise it may never happen. So if you want any knowledge transfer, if you want any knowledge sharing, number one, let me wrap up by saying you have to spell it out. Don't assume that your partner wants to share their technical knowledge with you. Don't assume. You have to spell it out and say, part of this partnership will require knowledge transfer. You will teach us this technology. Get them to agree. Then once they agree, don't make it vague. You will teach us by taking XYZ number of people. You would train 3 engineers, you would train 4 people, you would train 5 people, this number of days, this number of time, and this is how we will measure that the knowledge is transferred. Once you have that in place, at least you are safe. But without that, it may never happen. Thank you very much.
Very, very instructive. Thank you very much. Let me just ask, what will be your parting shot on this very important topic that we are looking at? What will be your parting shot?
Thank you very much. It's been very wonderful being with you today. I like to say that business collaboration, alliances, and partnerships are very important in today's world. You know, you can't build a silo. When we come together with others, when we collaborate, we synergize. And of course, that makes there to be a ripple effect of our efforts. So partnering with others, collaborating with others, a lot of people are very afraid. I don't want to partner with anybody. Or I don't, no. You know, embrace it. Go out and look for people that you can partner with, because when you synergize, you will achieve more. But as you do that, do your due diligence, do your background check, and make sure that when you are agreeing, don't do handshake agreement. Do a legal agreement. Set up the framework that will benefit both partners. And this is very important. It is a mutually beneficial relationship. So don't think that you want to collaborate with somebody to get from them. Remember that you also have to give them value. It's both of you sharing value to build each other. And if you approach it with that, I think you will have a wonderful experience with collaboration, alliances, and partnership. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would like to appreciate our guest today, Oluseye Igbafe. Thank you very much. You've been so wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
We appreciate the great insights that you have shared on the topic of today, and a very important topic as that. We thank you for your time, and we want to say next time we come calling, please bear with us and don't consider us Oliver twos.
I'll be glad to be here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, Mike. It's been my pleasure.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
we'll go on a short break and be right back. Remain connected. You are welcome back. Thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed our guest's insights today. We are at the wrap-up section. We have been told the importance of collaboration in today's business landscape, how alliances and partnerships can drive growth and innovation. We have also been told some examples, like if you are into businesses that require technical expertise that is not available within your business scope, you engage technical partners. This will impact your business better, because the effect of the synergy will make you grow better. Different types of collaboration, we have also discussed that today. And then the benefit of forming strategic alliances to leverage each other's strengths and resources. As our guest told us, it's a give and take. It's not you don't enter a partnership just to take and take alone. You also have something to give. It's a shared value relationship. Joint ventures is another type of we have strategic alliance as a type of collaboration. We have joint ventures. Joint venture is in the advantage of pooling resources and expertise to pursue mutually beneficial opportunities. Another one is supplier partnership. This explains the value of building strong relationship with suppliers to enhance efficiency and quality, because in the process of what you are your businesses, you may not be able to produce everything. It may be better for you to concentrate on a line, a part of it, and then get others input from other suppliers. Then you have co-marketing agreements. This also gives us the benefit of partnership with complementary brands to reach new markets and customers. As a typical example of that is this mat, this mat that is everywhere. You have co-location, you can have MTN, Airtel, you can have all these service provider on one mat in an area, because they are all trying to service that area. Instead of building their own mast all over where there's no space, they combine resources on one mast. That's a typical example. Benefits of business collaboration also gives you access to new markets. You are able to reach new markets that you are unable to reach before because of your collaboration. Shared resources also helps you to enlarge more and expand more quickly your business, because you have complementary complements of resources from other partners. Then risk sharing. Once you are in partnership, it means, God forbid, if anything bad happens, you are not going to take the whole risk. You are going to also share it, just like you share the benefit or profit. So risk sharing can also be considered as benefits for partnership and collaboration, as well as innovation and research and development. Yeah, when you come together, you can foster innovation better by bringing together diverse perspectives and capabilities. Then cost saving is another benefit for forming partnership or collaboration. It can lead to cost efficiency through economies of scale or shared expenses. Like we're talking of the risk, you are not only bearing the cost on your own, you are having it spread. So the key consideration for successful collaboration should include alignment of goals and value. Like we said, don't go and collaborate with people with wrong value, with wrong morals, so that it does not rub off on you. It's very important. Then clear communication and trust. You must be able to understand each other very well. Where you are in doubt, seek clarification, and like we said, it's better to commit most of the important agreements into writing, so that there's nobody that is in doubt. And the element of trust is important in collaboration, because if you don't trust each other, you cannot go together. Then proper documentation and legal agreements. No matter how friendly, no matter how trusting you are today with your partners, excuse me, it's always better to have proper documentation on the basis that is bringing you together, and the extent you are willing to go in terms of your business consideration, and let it have a legal binding, so that nobody is left in doubt what happens should arrangement go sour. Ongoing evaluation and adaptation also explain regular assessment and flexibility in collaboration can help address changing business environment and evolving needs. We have so many of these, like I guess that shed more light to us. In order to pick each of the points, we can talk of the encouragement that it gives us to collaborate or have partnership. We are asking you to explore collaboration opportunities, to forge strategic partnership and alliances, so that you can remain competitive. Your business can remain competitive in today's dynamic business landscape. It's getting more and more difficult to be a lone ranger. So look at the possibility of collaborating with the right partners, with the right business entities. So as we draw near to the end of this enlightening discussion on our business collaboration, alliances, and partnership, we want you to understand the dynamic landscape of business world that demands that business constantly seek innovative ways to thrive and grow. It is through collaborations, alliances, and partnership that we can all truly unlock the potential for success. Furthermore, we have acknowledged that building successful collaboration is not without its challenges. Effective communication, mutual trust, and shared goals are vital ingredients that underpin any fruitful relationship or partnership. It is through open dialogue, transparency, and willingness to adapt that we can overcome these hurdles and forge a strong and enduring alliances. As we conclude, I encourage each one of you to embark on the possibility that arise from collaboration. Let us foster a culture of cooperation and shared purpose within our organization and businesses, recognizing that in today's interconnected world, we can achieve far more together than we can alone. On that note, I would like to appreciate all of you, our online audience, for sparing time to connect with us. I appreciate Late Olufade. I saw his name a moment ago. Thank you for joining us. He's a constant follower of Connect with Comfort. We appreciate you. Please keep in touch for further assistance should you require any on this particular topic or any of our topic. We'll make sure that we get back to you on what clarification you require. I hope you have all enjoyed today's episode. Please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Comfort Eyitayo. Once you have subscribed, please turn on the notification button, like and share our videos. Stay updated with information about upcoming events, solutions, and offers on my Instagram account at Comfort Eyitayo, as well as my Facebook as Comfort Eyitayo. Till I come your way again, be inspired to embark on new collaborative endeavors, and may the spirit of collaboration continue to drive your innovation, prosperity, and sustainable growth in all your future endeavors. Thank you, and bye bye.